Hey everybody, welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode we had a nice little play from the next door theater of Grandma Gretlin and her crew here. Yeah, it was good. It was good to see it. So yeah, we're going to continue finishing off the end game quests, the last act of Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. So yeah, we're going to finish off some of the quests around the world. Hopefully it goes smoothly. Hopefully it does. We'll see. So let's hold on. Let's go back to camp first. Oh, right. I have this guy, Captain Harmaton. Commander, glad to see you're back with us. Captain Harmaton has barely changed since your last meeting, but his glare is now even heavier than before, and his arms and face bear new scars. You've arrived just in time. There is unrest within your forces once again. Unfortunately, once you return, so did the wary. They're turning the soldiers against you. I'm afraid we're dealing with an open mutiny. They're agitating for the army to abandon Dresden and march to Her Majesty's aid. If we don't stop them, the outcome may be disastrous. Let's meet with the wary. I don't believe it will be hard to convince them that their plan is just pure madness. Mutinies must be suppressed with absolute severity. We surround all units engaged in the revolt, and then we arrest and hang the traitors publicly. Behind every rebellious leader is a very angry second-in-command who dreams of promotion. We'll just hint at the fastest way to get to it, and the mutiny will fade away by itself with the added benefit of refreshing our staff. If the wary are so loyal to the Queen, why didn't they just leave with her instead of remaining in Dresden? I couldn't say, Commander. I believe we should talk to them and find out the reasoning and their plan of action. I do agree that all of this looks very suspicious. Either way, many say that you have no right to give orders to anyone since the Queen relieved you of your command even before you went to the abyss. Technically. Generally speaking, they're not entirely wrong. It'll be hard to make them reconsider. Yeah. I have perception. You also have a great deal of respect for the Queen Galfrey, don't you? I'm a soldier. It's my duty to respect my superiors. I hold you in high esteem as well. You catch nervous trembling in Harmaton's voice, partially masked by his calm and relaxed tone. Interesting. Let's discuss our options in further detail. As you command. Regil, what do you suggest? Revolts should be nipped in the bud. We'll surround the mutinous detachments, then publicly execute the wary and all those convicted of instigation. If seditious tendencies persist, we do it again. Is the only way to secure the troops' loyalty. A fair point. The demons are struggling to exterminate our forces. Let's do them a favor and slaughter our soldiers as well. Daeran, your opinion, please. Behind the back of every disgruntled officer is a whole queue of aspirants eager to take their place. To get rid of the ringleaders of where we won't even have to hire assassins. The promise of a promotion, a pay raise is all it takes for any second in command to do their duty, be it by dagger or a drop of poison. They'll make good officers, feared by allies and enemies alike. Captain Harmaton, what would you advise? I think their talks of self-directed march are a bluff. Only lunatics would swallow such a suicidal plan. We need to talk to the wary and ask them what they really want. Don't parley with mutineers. I'm pretty sure that we all know what they want. The same thing as everybody else. Power and money. We'll just be playing into the hands of the wary if we sit down and talk with them as equals. Okay, everything's clear. Okay, let's see. That's also really good. Yeah, I think intimidating officer, bloodthirsty officers is really good. Daeran, we will neutralize the leaders and pay their successors for their loyalty. Yes. Lovely. I know exactly whom to pay and how much. Soon they'll serve us the conspirators' head on a silver platters. Not literally, of course. Why would we want their heads here? I'll keep you up to date on how things unfold. As soon as there are any developments, I will reconvene the council. All right, cool. Sounds good. Dealt with some traitors. Now we can go ahead and continue to manage my crusade affairs. Oh, hey, Harmaton, you come back. Commander, permission to report. I finally bring you good news for a change. Now that you put an end to the wary, barely anyone questions your right to lead the crusade. Neurosia now has a circle of influential people who are sympathetic to your efforts and see you as the foremost protector of Golarion. That would like to help our army in any way you want. What should you ask of them? Oh, interesting. I think we should ask for something we are always lacking: money and other forms of material support. Make them procure for us most valuable of resources: knowledge, any manuscript on warfare, treaties on arms and armor, improvement, intelligence on demons and their weaknesses. Make them use their money and influences to gather these types of writings from all across Golarion. Oh, so we can ask for anything. Make them send us reinforcements, but not another bunch of commoners like their very own overgrown infantile offspring. Okay, all right. Let's discuss our options in further detail. As you command. Regil, what do you suggest? Despite all of my experience in command and my Hell Knight training, I wouldn't even begin to assume that I know everything about war and weaponry. Many nations, mercenary groups, and noble houses keep secrets related to warfare they're not keen on sharing. Now is a good time to use the money and influence of our unexpected benefactors to unlock those secrets. Daeran, your opinion, please. Have you seen the volunteers we've been getting lately? They're skinny, ragged, hunched. Less of an army, more of a traveling almshouse. If our neighbors are willing to help, let them send the best breed, offspring of barons and counts. They themselves will maybe completely useless, but their dear fathers and mothers will send their best warriors to accompany them. That's smart, actually. Their personal guards, sworn knights, and seasoned mercenaries, all those who will see to it that their beloved youngster's head is not removed by some demon or another. In a fight, a single one of those skilled riders or trained swordsmen is worth 10 commoners who've just given a spear and told the following words of a martial wisdom: you're not a baker anymore, you're just a soldier. What this army definitely has no need for is more nobles. If you need proof, just take a look at Count Erenday. Count Harmaton, what would you advise? In my opinion, we don't need to overthink this. There's no such thing as too much money. We'll ask for material aid, and I buy everything everything we're currently missing. Actually, it's funny you say that. We actually declared independence from Nerosian. Not sure why they'd help us, but also we don't need money, actually. We don't need it at all. Let's see what this does. Brilliant Strategist. Plus 15%. Whoa, wow, all range and what? That's crazy. That's pretty good. I don't think I need that. I think Regal, you're right. You're Brilliant Strategist. All ranged and infantry units have 15% bonus damage. Hell yeah, let's do this. Regal, you're right. Good, this will prove to be a significant contribution to our officers' training and help us deliver a decisive blow to the enemy. Thank you, Commander. I hope our allies have fulfilled their promises. I'll personally leave for Nerosian to oversee the progress being made by our newest associates. Hopefully, I'll return with good news before long. Nice. Good. So much fun to lead a crusade. Alright, to make Camellia happy, we're all the way back to her home mansion. So let's go to Gwerm's mansion. It's so nostalgic to be back here when we cleared this place out of, crappy demons. Remember that? Good times, good times. Hey there. Servant Lady Camellia, welcome home. We've been expecting you. Camilla looks at the servant for a few minutes, mused. You have been expecting me? Indeed, my lady. Lord Gwerm ordered me that you be sent to him as soon as you had arrived. The commander is permitted to follow you, but I must ask your other companions to wait here. Refreshments will be served. Camellia, what's going on here? How curious. Horgus is here and waiting for me, but how did he know? Forgive me for being unable to answer your question, my lady, but those were the precise instructions I received from Lord Gwerm this morning. Camellia, do you know this man? I have never sat eyes on him before. I took up my position here relatively recently. I was hired specifically to serve Lord Gwerm at his mansion in Kenebres. Why can't my companions come in too? Lord Gwerm was the most specific in his request, and I'm afraid I cannot speak for his reasons. I can only assume that this conversation will be the most delicate nature. Please, my friend, let's acquiesce to Horgus' request. I don't wish to make a scene before I fully understand what's going on here. And I see you've managed to repair the mansion after the demonic invasion. Indeed, we have. Unfortunately, the mansion was almost unharmed. Many items survived the attack, and Lord Gwerm was able to find comparable replacements of those that didn't. Fine, so where should we look for Horgus? Lord Gwerm must be somewhere upstairs. He bid me say that Lady Camellia will have no trouble finding him. Please do come in. Camellia strokes her chin pensively. I was not expecting this. I thought the mansion would be empty, picked to the bones by marauders if I were standing at all, but seeing it fully restored and inhabited. Camellia narrows her eyes at you. Well, it would be extremely impolite to keep our host waiting, wouldn't it be, my friend? Let's go and have a chat with Daddy Dearest. Okay, let's go. There goes my companions. Although my skeletal executioner is still there, that's fun. Ooh, as the saying goes, every family has a skeleton in its closet. In my case, all the skeletons are hidden in the cellar. Camellia smiles fleetingly at her own joke. This place holds a special significance for me, because this is where I killed those thugs who tried to rob Horgus' mansion. They were caught by the guards and I sacrificed them to Maria. This is where they are buried. I still find it hard to believe that Horgus just allowed you to kill people like that. I think he had no choice. He could not cure me of the spirit's influence, no matter how hard he tried, nor could he hand me over to the authorities of Kenebres, because then I should have certainly declared him myself to be his illegitimate daughter and revealed all his secrets to the world. That would have stained the glorious name of Horgus Gwerm that my papa values even more than his own life. I suppose he would have killed me and buried me right here in the cellar. She shrugs hesitantly. I have no idea why he didn't do it while I was still a little girl and he could overpower me. Nevertheless, I can assure you that all my victims buried here were hardened criminals and thugs. No one shed a tear when they never returned from the Gwerm mansion that night. So how many skeletons are buried in the cellar? Oh, not as many as you may have assumed. Just the 2, not counting the Verisian. Oh, damn it. Perception check failed. Camelia's gaze wanders without stopping on anything in particular. It seems that she's remembering and relieving all the sacrifices she made here. Okay, gotta go. Camellias, I see they never stop blooming. She smirks. On my father's orders, the garden must have camellias and bloom all year long. Whatever the reason, whatever the weather, why does he even bother, do you think? Horgus loves you. They are camellias after all. Camellia scoffs and bursts out laughing. You certainly know how to lighten the mood. My friend Horgus and love? Those 2 words do not belong in the same sentence. This is the grave of my mother, Iris. She died when I was a child, so I scarcely remember her. I don't understand. Why would Horgus tend his grave all these years, and why would he plant camellias over it? My father has never shown any tendency towards sentimentality. Camellia turns away. I hate these flowers. Interesting. Pup's grave. This is the grave of my pup. I dug at it myself and buried the poor animal. Camellia chuckles and turns to you. Have I ever told you about this? He was so cute and warm. I simply adored petting his curly fur until the moment when I suddenly realized that his little body was lying at my feet and his head was in my hands. Did Maria make you sacrifice your puppy? Camellia freezes for a moment. I suppose it must have been, although I didn't even know of her existence back then. Maria chose me long before we met each other. You know, I don't even remember the pup's names. There have been so many others since him. Dogs, cats, birds. We are sure to find Horgus in the secret study. Camellia licks her parched lips. Before we enter, I should ask you one more question if you don't mind. Do you know our family's history better than anyone else in the world? Tell me, what do you think of Horgus as a father? Despite all his flaws, Horgus is a good father. So that's what you think. Camelia's gaze wanders the room, never resting on anything in particular. Why are you asking? No special reason. Camellia turns her distracted gaze on you. I just wanted to know your opinion of my father before we meet him face to face. Okay, Some ominous omen. There he is. With his stash of treasures, I guess. Well, hello, father. Orcus raises his head and stares vacantly at his daughter for several moments. Then he nods and drains his goblet before him in a single huge gulp. You can smell the sour reek of stale alcohol in the air. Hello, Camellia. So you finally came, and you even dragged the commander along. I suspected that you wouldn't come here alone, you know? I've been wondering when you would finally show your face here. Haven't I always taught you that it's extremely impolite to be late for an appointment? Camellia wrinkles her nose in disgust. Papa, you stink. I believe you will forgive me this weakness under the circumstances, and if you don't, you can always leave. I won't stop you. The door is right over there. Orgus chuckles bitterly and refills his goblet. Orgus, you were expecting us. This isn't a chance meeting? It was not you I was expecting, although I thought you might put in an appearance. No, I was waiting for Camellia some time ago. I received a letter from my beloved daughter in which she invited me to meet her here at my mansion in Kenebres. I came as quickly as I could. I have been here for several days now, waiting for my dearest daughter to arrive. Orgus frowns at you, examining your face. Don't tell me you knew nothing about this meeting. Could it be that my sweet girl, as you wrapped around her little finger, and that she tricked you into coming here to watch the spectacle unfold? The little minx. He gesticulates wildly, spilling half the contents of his goblet on the floor. What did you do after I left for the Abyss? I left Dresden as soon as the Queen took hold of the reins of government, of course. I highly respect our dear Galfrey, but it was you I had followed into the crusade, not her. For whatever reason, I do not believe our Queen will succeed in her attempts to defeat the wound. So I removed to Neurosian while my mansion in Kenebres was under renovations. Orgus turns his eyes to Camellia and shrugs, but none of that matters anymore, does it? I came here to help Camellia talk to the spirits. I didn't expect to meet you here. Surprised you, were you? As for me, I knew the moment she received the letter why she wanted to meet with me. She wants to talk to the spirits, does she? How can she have spent so much time with my talented daughter without realizing that much? That whenever Camellia wishes to talk to a spirit, it always involves Orgus gulps. Murder? I have no idea what kind of spirit she has in that bone trinket, but why would it want so much blood? Orgus takes a huge gulp from his goblet and immediately refills it again. You do know that Camellia killed 5 people while she lived under this roof, don't you? First her mentor, an old Varisian woman, then 4 more. Well, they were thugs, bandits, and murderers. They had it coming, to tell you the truth. They broke into this mansion seeking to rob us. That's Kenebres for you. A border city with all kinds of riffraff lurking about. My guards caught them, tied them up, and tossed them in the cellar. They never reported the break-in to the authorities. Why bother? Those thugs would have been executed anyways. Always made short shrift of such rabble. Orcus belches noisily. But the things Camellia did to them down in the cellar, I never saw myself, I only heard it. And then later, when I buried their corpses, I felt relieved that I was not in their place. Ha 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 ha. Camellia remains silent. Only the sound of her labored breathing indicates that she is still here. Why did you condone Camellia's inclinations? Why did you protect her secret? Why did you cover up the murders? Orgus straightens her back proudly. Camellia is the daughter of Orgus Gwerm, a true daughter, my blood, though I may have concealed that fact from society. Yes, she is special, unusual, very sensitive to the world around her. Whose fault is it that the damned spirits drove her insane? I know nothing about spirits. I have never talked to one myself. But Camellia, she is naturally gifted. She understands them. She says we have a chance to learn how to close the world wound once and for all. This end justifies all means, doesn't it, Commander? What is a father to do? Orgus sighs heavily, his shoulders slump as if weighed down by a burden he has been carrying for many years. The bloodline of Orgus Gwerm cannot be broken, and I have no other heirs. Camellia, what's going on here? She remains silent. You can't see her face, but you hear her breathing, shallow and fast. Her shoulders are rising and falling jerkily, and her right hand is trembling. Camellia, explain. Uh-oh. Camellia jolts slightly and turns to you. Her eyes seem to look right through you. Her lips are parted, and her rasping breath reminds you of an animal's growl. Her right hand is clutching a thin stiletto that seems to have come out of nowhere. Yep, here it is. Isn't it obvious? Orgus stands up heavily from the table and approaches his daughter, stumbling a little. She has finally come to take my life. I've been waiting for this moment since the day it all began. I knew it would come. Of course, I'd hoped that Camellia would placate her spirits somehow, or perhaps the commander would close the world wound and put an end to all the sacrifices. But it's too late for that now. I'm ready to die. My whole life is a lie. I do not feel like mine, but someone else's. I did everything I could to ensure that the name of Orgus Gwerm would go down in history and his bloodline would live on. I have only had to lie and cover up crimes along the way. Well, the time has come to pay the piper, and if my death helps to uncover the secrets of closing the world wound, well, it's not the worst way to go. Orgus gulps. And before you do what you came here to do, Camellia, let me reveal my final secret to you. Camellia's voice sounds alien and unfamiliar. It is hoarse and low, like gravel crunching underfoot. Talk. Your mother, Iris, genuinely loved you, Camellia. But after she saw how you killed that pup in the garden, she started to worry about you. It was she who insisted on the doctors and the psychics and the exorcists. They all examined you, but nothing helped. You kept on killing animals, neighboring cats, stray dogs. You told us stories about the spirits who have whispered in your ears. Iris didn't believe you really had a special ability to communicate with the spirits. She didn't think you were gifted, but I did. As if a daughter of Orgus Gwerm would be no more than a mere lunatic. Several years passed like that. Several very grueling years for Iris, more than myself. And then one night, Horgus swallows the lump in his throat. I entered your room and saw Iris leaning over your bed with a pillow in her hands. I pushed her away from you. It was dark. Iris stumbled and she hit her head on the corner of a cabinet. I buried her in the garden and planted a flower bed of camellias over her grave. I thank the gods that you remembered nothing of that horrible night. Now you know everything, Camellia. Did you kill Camellia's mother? Horgus sighs. It was an accident, but I was prepared to do it. I would do the same again if I had to. The bloodline of Horgus Gwerm cannot be broken. Forgive me, Camellia. Forgive me for keeping you locked away. Forgive me for never acknowledging you as my daughter. Forgive me for depriving you of your mother and never being able to replace her. Now I have said everything. I'm ready. You killed my mother, and you decided to tell me that now? Camellia's whisper sounds like the hissing of a venomous snake. Why? To unburden your soul? To show me how you protected me back then? Maybe you're hoping I'll hesitate before I stab you in your disgusting heart? Or are you trying to make me weep for my mother, the innocent victim? Well, I don't give a damn about her. The bitch wanted me dead and she failed. Good riddance, I say. And I don't give a damn about you either, Horgus Gwerm. I don't care about your bloodline or about any excuses you come up with. Do you really think I couldn't have escaped your mansion if I wanted to? You never acknowledged me as your daughter. 'Twas no skin off my nose. You wanted to marry a noble woman to continue the Gwerm line. Well, that was your own affair. You provided for me and didn't try to stop me from communicating with the spirits. I never wanted anything more from you. But now, I don't need you anymore. I have Mickey Mouse who will protect me and hide me from justice if it comes for me. As for you, you are just garbage left over from my former life, and it's time to dispose of you. The stiletto trembles in Camellia's hand, and she grips the handle so tight her knuckles turn white. Oh no. Camellia, stop. She turns her clouded gaze on you. The spirits crave his blood, I crave his blood. Together we have sealed his fate. You shouldn't kill him. No matter what he's done, he is still your father. The stiletto in Camellia's hand flies up and freezes in front of Horgus Gwerm's heart. A moment passes, then another. Finally, Camellia exhales loudly and lowers her weapon. Leave. Get out of my life, Horgus Gwerm. Horgus opens his mouth to say something, but immediately shuts it without saying a single word. He lingers for a moment, then nods briefly and leaves. Oh, okay, I saved Horgus. Hell yeah. You know, Horgus is not a bad dude. He's not a bad dude at all. It's all over now. I've rid myself of my past. I suppose I should feel happy. Why then do I feel so tired? Camellia gets to her feet and smooths her tousled hair. It was all over too quickly, don't you agree, my friend? As if something was missing. It's like having sex without climaxing. The end result is not but exhaustion. Let's have some fun, more fun, shall we? Why didn't you tell me that Horgus would be waiting for you in Kenebres? Camellia shrugs, a trifle confused. I just didn't. Perhaps I just wanted to surprise you, or perhaps I was worried they'd try to talk me out of it. So you're ready to talk to Mireia now? No, not quite yet, but don't worry, I shall be ready soon. Just one last step, one final drop. Did Mireia really crave Horgus's blood, or was it you who wanted it? Camellia's gaze sharpens for a moment, but she quickly relaxes. Yes, and yes. Mireia and I are one. Her desires are my desires. We have become quite inseparable at this point. What did you have in mind? Camellia's voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper. I want to make up for lost time, to let loose like never before, to celebrate my ultimate liberation. There are an awful lot of servants in this mansion. Let's gather them all in the garden and feed Mireia with her blood together, you and I. What do you say? I've never done this with another person before. Until now, you have been only an observer, and I want my first time to be with you, my friend. Okay. Alright, sure. Camellia, I like your idea. Let's gather the servants. Let's do grants you a happy smile. This will be unforgettable. Alright, let's try. Please come around. I have an important announcement for you all from Lord Gwerm. Yep, let's do it. You are all fired. But why? I was hardly surprised. Everyone knows that Gwerm changes his servants all the time. This can't be. I want to speak to Lord Gwerm myself. Will I at least get my week's wages? Oh, don't worry. Lord Gwerm has tasked me with ensuring that everyone is paid in full. No one will leave empty-handed.
Save the last one for me.
Ah, jeez. Damaged living. There you go. You're dead.
I suppose we are done here. We certainly had a good time, didn't we?
Yep.
Did you like it, my friend? It was a little different from my usual sacrifices to Mireia, but mass murder does have its own appeal. It's wild, primordial, unbridled. You felt it too, didn't you? The exhilaration.
Is that Mireia? Like that.
You know, I suppose you deserve a confession. I have never said anything like this to anyone before. Are you ready? Steel yourself.
Uh-oh.
You are the best friend I could ever hope to have. You understand me. You help me. You are the best thing that has happened to me in my entire life.
You're really special to me too, Camellia. Sure.
You know, now that we're so close, I wish to confess something else to you. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
There is no Maria. I made her up.
Oh my god. Okay, but why?
Isn't it obvious? To have a reasonable explanation for all the murders. So that my protector would be too busy thinking of our bright future to lecture me on morality and decency.
Okay.
I like to kill. I don't simply want it. I need it. It is something deep within me. My desire is like an annoying fly buzzing around a room. One that cannot be seen or swatted away.
Oh, I guess she's just crazy then.
But the deaths of enemies on the battlefield don't bring me any relief. It comes only with the deaths of those who considered me a friend.
Oh, wow.
The deaths must be unexpected, so that I can see the disbelief and dread in my victims' eyes. But I am a clever girl. I know that society would never condone my unconventional desires. So I invented a nice story that I could feed to those who would protect me from society.
Wow, she's really evil.
As you may have noticed, my lie has worked remarkably well.
Yeah. Well, I suspected you were lying to me.
Did you? You hid your true thoughts from me very well. You are an excellent liar. Perhaps even better than I am. My sincerest congratulations.
So when you asked me to come here today so you could talk to Maria, that was a lie.
Of course it was. After you and I visited the brothel in Alishanira, I felt an unexpected and overwhelming desire to see my dear sweet papa. So as soon as we returned to Dresden, I made some inquiries and learned that he had moved to Nerosian. I sent him a letter inviting him to meet me at his mansion in Kenebres, and that's when I asked you to accompany me.
Okay.
I decided it would be best not to disclose the true purpose of our visit to you. If you had known that Horgus would be waiting for us here, you might have discerned my intentions.
Yeah, why have you decided to tell me this now?
Ah, that's a good question. You would have learned the truth sooner or later, you know. I've told you too many stories about Maria. You never would have let the matter lie. Of course, I could have left. Fled in the dead of night, leaving you a farewell note. But I like traveling with you, my friend.
Good to hear it.
I
Good to
like
hear it.
feeling the power you've shared with me. That is why I decided to take the risk and open up to you.
Okay. Where do you draw your power from then?
I draw it from the spirits, just like all shamans do. Spirits surround us. They are everywhere, even within the world wound. Only they never beg me to save them or try to tell me how to heal Socorus.
Oh, okay, she lied about that too. Okay, great.
To be honest, I couldn't care less about Socorus, the world wound, or the crusade. My sphere of interest lies elsewhere.
What's the story behind your amulet then?
This?
Yep.
Once a snake crawled into our garden. I killed it, gutted it, dried out its bones, and then I told Horgus about Maria and asked him to decorate the amulet with gold and make it into a necklace.
Oh, how nice. Like a school
Despite
project.
its mundane origins, it is now imbued with magic that hides me from the prying eyes of Iomede's paladins and inquisitors. Daddy Dearest was quite insistent on that point. Clearly, he feared that if I were ever caught, I would reveal all the dirty secrets of the Gwerms to the world. But now that I'm with you, I have no need of this amulet anymore. Do I? No one would dare lay a finger on a companion of the Crusade Commander.
Okay, I guess so. I've heard enough.
Is the interrogation over? Good. I was beginning to feel rather bored. So, what is your verdict, my friend?
I'll accept you as you are, because that's what friends do.
Thank you for hearing me out, for
Okay.
understanding and accepting me.
Power of friendship,
I
guys.
must confess,
Power of friendship, so
I
strong.
was a little worried about how this conversation would go. I have no more secrets from you, I promise. Provided, of course, that you can still believe my promises.
Ah, good question. Good question. Alright, so who the heck is this? Okay, it's just a bug. Okay. There we go. Alright, I also upgraded the Ziggurat, so once I get back, I'll be able to talk to Zacharias. And I could probably become a Lich now. That'd be nice. Alright, we're back on Dresden. Let's do this. Going home. Oh, here it is. Oh, who's that? Thomas Longar. My lord, an unfamiliar knight enters the hall, the white-bearded old man clad in armor that's polished to sheen and adorned with an image of Iomede's sword. Despite his age, his movements are confident and his eyes are sharp. The knight's voice trembles ever so slightly, not because of his years, but because of his barely restrained temper. I've come to report treason. Who are you? Sir Thomas Longar, paladin by the grace of Iomede and your loyal servant. Until recently, I was Captain Harmatton's adjutant. I was most involved in the staff's work. Alas, I am no longer of age to be fighting on the front lines. Ashamed that my chances to introduce myself to you has been made possible under such disgraceful circumstances. Uh-oh, don't tell me he betrayed me, or Captain Harmatton betrayed me. Where's Captain Harmatton? I'd say he's already made it halfway to Nerosian. That's what I've come here to report, my lord. You are, of course, familiar with the Wary. They're a circle of schemers who have been stirring up trouble practically since the beginning of your crusade. They're politicians undermining our holy cause with their petty intrigues. How many times have you routed them, and after each time, they were back at it again? Sir Thomas shakes his fist, then gets a hold of himself, and continues more calmly. I beg your pardon. I meant to tell you that something that you didn't already know about then. Something I sadly didn't know about either until now. The leader of the Wary this whole time, the one who incited their insubordination time and time again, it was none other than Captain Harmatton. Ah, crap. That traitor, that block-headed fool. Since the very beginning, he thought you were unworthy to lead the crusade. You thwarted each of his preposterous intrigues, and now he has resolved to mutiny. The captain went to Nerosian to bring back an army, our supposed reinforcements. The moment you let them into the city, he'll order them to seize you. Once that's done, he'll try to take command of the crusade in your place. The nerve. If foolish arrogance could be used as firewood, this army would never have to worry about keeping itself warm in the winter again. So what are you suggesting? I know that traitors must face retribution, but what if treason has not yet overwhelmed them completely? Grant the captain a chance to gather his wits. Let us hold a memorial service in honor of the fallen Crusaders. Once reinforcements arrive, we'll invite them to join us in paying our respects to our comrades. We'll turn the traitors' plan against him. Dresden will become a mousetrap. We let the traitors in, close the gates, and block them inside a confined space. Then we can demand that they return in the ringleader. We'll execute him in plain view of the troops. The good captain wants to play at intrigue. I'll show him how it's done. A couple of letters to the right people in Nerosian, and he will never leave the city. Sir Thomas, how did you learn of his treason? Remember the debacle the Wary had with their inane mutiny? That was when I first became suspicious. All of the traitors were close to the captain. A pity that I didn't report these suspicions on the spot. I didn't think it would befit an adjutant to inform on his own superior. But then I heard his speeches at the officers' meeting, how he blamed you for suppressing the rightfully disgruntled traitors. These words put me on high alert. When the captain left for Nerosian to oversee the arrangements regarding your new allies' support, I made my way into his quarters and searched them. The captain left a great hurry. He didn't have time to check if even the letters he'd thrown into the fireplace had burned properly. There were just some charred scraps left, but what they said was enough to figure out what he was going and what his plans were. The queen has ventured deep into the world wound. Why hasn't he followed her? We haven't heard a word from Her Majesty in a long time. We all can sense that, even if she is alive, it's unlikely that she'll triumph. The Queen must be saved, and it looks like the captain doesn't believe that you're up to the task. No, that's not right. He's convinced himself that you are intentionally delaying the expedition to let her die. I mean, I guess maybe that's kind of true. He hopes that once you've been deposed, he can bring all the remaining forces to her aid. What I find most tragic is that I understand the captain to some extent. Despite all his intrigue, deep down, he's still a true knight. But just like any knight, he is fully devoted to his lady. Didn't you notice from the very start, his loyalty was not towards you, nor the Crusader cause, but to Galfrey, to her and her alone. When she set out for Iz, she desperately wanted to accompany her, but his queen gave him a different task. Harmatton had to wait for Mendevian reinforcements in Dresden, form a secondary army, and only then could he move out to support Galfrey. When you arrived and took command, I think it was a painful blow for him. Let's discuss our options in further detail. I hope that together we can all come together a reasonable solution. Rachel, what do you suggest? The army doesn't know it's following a traitor. He wants to order them to arrest the commander, but we'll be one step ahead. We'll let the troops into Dresden surround them, then promise to spare their lives if they turn in Harmatton. Then we can tell the warriors what sort of crime they were almost drawn into right before we execute the conspirator in public. They'll be grateful for you for sparing them from unknowingly being complicit in treason. Lessons like those, ones you pay for not with time or gold, but with blood. These lessons are invaluable both to soldiers and to officers. Risky. What if he orders his troops to attack first? What if the troops listen to him? There will be a slaughter. No, we need to defuse the situation carefully without resorting to direct confrontation. Daeran, your opinion, please. I have plenty of powerful acquaintances in Neurosian. Some of them owe me favors, and I can offer a lot to others. An army captain is not that big a fish. A letter or two, and he'll vanish like he never existed in the first place. As for the nobles that will help us, we'll have a nice shared secret. And secrets in common bring people together. Having friends in high places that are bound by spilt blood will open new possibilities for us. Ooh. Sir Thomas, what is your advice? Greet the advancing army with a morning bell's toll. We will step out towards them and invite them to join us in a prayer for all those who have fallen in battle during this war. Captain Harmerton's plan is foolish, but he is a man of honor. We'll help him come to his senses and think better of issuing a treasonous order. The traitor is positive he's in the right. As soon as you take one step forward toward him, he'll command his force to draw the weapons. Your plan amounts to surrender. Thank you, everything is clear. I like Rigel's plan. Rigel, lure Harmerton into a trap and execute him before the ranks. Good, I'm tired of hearing all about these wary. We'll finally put an end to this farcical band of criminals once and for all, and the officers who were so unwise to follow Harmerton will be taught a clear lesson. There we go. There we go. That's good. Now we're gonna go to Death's Embrace, upgrade the Ziggurat. I did inform Ziggurat. To inform Zacharias, Ziggurat has been upgraded. Okay, cool. Alright. The time has come, Zacharias. I have upgraded the Ziggurat as you instructed. The Ziggurat has been upgraded, yes. Perfect. Now we can harness a colossal amount of energy to use in the ritual. Now that everything is ready, we may proceed with the ritual. Bolster your spirit and inform me when you are fully ready. It will be a great challenge followed by a great reward. Yes, yes, yes. Let the ritual begin. Zacharias bursts out laughing and nods, clearly satisfied. Now begins the great transformation. Now begins the sacramental rite. How dangerous will this be for me? I would say that will be painful. This time you will actually die. Before that, though, you will have to endure great suffering. Whether you bear it or die in the process rests solely on your resolve. What powers will I gain? Immortality, the eternal amulet that will prevent your soul from departing your life to Pharasma judgment, and power, phenomenal power, that will grant you the right to reign supreme over death itself. What challenges will I face? Zacharias gives you a sinister grin. We shall commit a murder. You must extinguish all the passion in your heart. They bind you too tightly to your mortality and keep your soul attached to the living body of blood and bone. You must renounce your desires, destroy them, and your heart will become cold, hard, and dead. Only then will you have the power you desire, but the prices will be high. Let us begin. Yes, Zacharias bursts into triumphant laughter that rings with the promise of the freedom he has sought for decades. I shall not ask how far you are willing to go and what you are willing to sacrifice for your power, for the only sacrifice in this ritual is you. Let us proceed. Okay. Let us do this. Witness this great and terrible deed. This immortal soul will reject the curse of perdition and eternal rebirth at Pharasma's hand. This mortal brands its heart with the blessed seal of undeath and its forehead with the crown of power and immortality. Let the fires burn bright so that the whole world sees your villainous atrocities, and may your virtues be consumed in the flames. This is the hour of your great torment, and I shall not spare you from your suffering. Greed and avarice are fierce compassions, and that can overwhelm even the purest hearts. But you must reject the gifts of this generous world and put to death your desire for riches. What? You must surrender your greatest treasure. No, I'm Mickey Mouse though. I love money. You must give up your gold. I know that your coffers are full, just as I know that the gold has the power to enslave souls. From now on, your soul must be free from all bonds. Reject half of the gold you own, grind it to dust, and purge your avarice from your heart. Savor the pain as the treasures melt in your hands, and let the suffering lead you into deathly splendor. Oh my god. Gotta give away my money? Mickey Mouse. So sad. My gold is dust. It has no power over my heart. A Lich conjures up a familiar crystal vessel you discovered in Rielu Volesh's abandoned sanctum. This object has a very strong bond to your soul. The exact nature of that bond is unclear, but it does not matter. This crystal vessel will make a perfect phylactery. Your soul will be hidden away in this receptacle, protected from the depredations of your enemies. These worldly treasures are the easiest sacrifice to make. Once you have obtained greatness, you'll be able to accumulate tremendous wealth. But now I'm going to deprive you of the gifts given by life itself. I will take your youth, your bodily strength, your muscles will go limp, and your joints will become fragile. Your eyes will grow dim, your tongue will not be able to taste, and your brain will shrink. You will never be again to feel the joy of a healthy body or partake in the pleasures of the flesh. Are you ready to give up all of this and more? Take away my youth and vitality. This body is insignificant. Only my mind and the spirit are important. Let's do this. Ow. Energy drain. Zacharias waves his hand in a swift, sure motion, and pain shoots through your body. He leeches your vigor and vitality like a giant spider, sucks the blood from its prey. Your whole body begins to age rapidly. Your bones creak and you feel the pain of old wounds, and your fingers lose their strength. Zacharias' withered face betrays no emotion, but you can sense its delight in your suffering. At last, it is the time for the ultimate sacrifice. Are you ready to surrender the soul of the creature you love best? Are you prepared to end the life of the one that your heart desires? You know of whom I speak. A true master of death cannot have a lover. Shatter this bond, put the victim on the altar, and wash your face in the blood and cheek greenness. Well, you know what? It's funny because Socio rejected me after I became a Lich, so I guess it doesn't matter. Love, I didn't have time for such silliness. The Lich chuckles dryly and cracks his bony knuckles. Well then, you've already begun the process. Your soul is ready to embrace its final death. Let us finish the labor you have started. Power courses through you, unstoppable, unimaginable power. It overwhelms your body, constricting your movement. The power steals the breath from your lungs and makes your ribs creak. It roars like a hurricane and tears away at your flesh. You are stripped of everything, hollowed out and emptied, until only your spirit and your true essence remains. The stern and proud master of death, a ruler no longer bound by the fetters of mortal flesh. Ouch. The vision fades, your heartbeat falters, you hear a commotion outside, the walls of the Ziggurat, shouts, the noise of battle, it doesn't matter, darkness comes over you, a pleasant chill runs through your body and you feel at peace, your heart beats no more, this is the end. Uh-oh. Intruders, the Ziggurat has been reached to arms, I told you the Whispering Way never forgives, now it's time for sweet revenge. Oh no, it's those cultists that I betrayed. Sire, I always knew you were treacherous, he saw the corruption in your heart, let us root out the raiders from among our ranks. Uh-oh. Mickey Mouse must not be harmed, protect him at all costs. Oh, interesting. It's like a defense game, only, oh no, Mickey Mouse is not here. Okay, okay. Form up, boys, form up. Gotta bust our way out of here. GG. Oh, I'm alive again. Yes. We did it. Your defeated enemies are huddled at your feet. They mutter curses and wait nervously for you to decide their fate. Your transformation has also impressed your companions. They can't stop staring at you. Ooh, now my horns get all sweaty and my tail switches every time I look at you, Commander. In the silence that follows, the nervous whispers of your defeated enemies can be heard clearly. Their voices tremble with fear. What an unusual alliance. I'm surprised that you managed to put aside your differences and work together. The deranged priestess shrieks with fury. We are the Whispering Way. We lurk in the shadows and act under the cover of night. You have incurred the wrath and the wrath of many others. We will do whatever it takes to destroy you, even if it means that we must unite with our enemies. Everbright Crusader. The Crusader summons up the courage and reaches for his sword with his injured hand. Their turn shall come, but first we must destroy you. You are the greatest threat to Mendev. The Order of the Sunrise Sword will always be your enemy. For Sire. Is Sire still alive? Alright, I think so. I don't know. Alright. Elianka, I thought I killed you. Did you enjoy your death so much that you came back to be killed again? The regal old woman that you once knew is gone. Instead, you see a grotesque undead monstrosity with burning eyes, talon like crooked fingers, and milky white skin. It speaks in a furious, gurgling voice. I am a servant of the Pallid Princess. Did you really think death would deter me? I was reborn and have become more powerful. You have rejected the alliance offered by the followers of the Whispering Way, and now you shall pay. You will strike down the deranged necromancer. You will die permanently this time. I will make sure that nobody brings back your soul. The old woman thrusts out her chin defiantly, and there's an insane light in her eyes. My death is not the end. The Whispering Way is eternal. You'll see that. Alright, there she goes. Oh, pop, pop. The other captives watch as you wait their judgment. Address the Crusaders. Traitors, how dare you turn against me? Despite their humiliating defeat, the knights are trying to maintain some semblance of dignity. They cast hateful glances in your direction, but they're clearly terrified of you. Oh, but it's you who have betrayed us. You were given the honor of leading the crusade, but you defiled our champions and turned them into blasphemous undead. You broke our oaths and betrayed Aomde. You deceived many, but not Sire. You could sense the evil in your heart. You forbade us from sheathing our swords until we plunged them into your chest. Alright, fine. The undead will teach you the meaning of obedience and discipline. Kill them. Serve you? No, that is a fate worse than death. Curse you, you unholy and monstrous abomination. Nope, too late now. Just have two skeletons, chop them down. Alright. It is over. All that remains are the bodies at your feet, but your undead servants will soon take care of them as well. Ah, nice. That's good. There we go. Mythic transformation. Oh, so cool. Zacharias. Oh, I'm taller. Am I taller than you? Oh, look how big I am. Zacharias holds your phylactery in his skeletal fingers. Welcome to Unlife, my former student. From now on, you are a Lich, a true master of the undead. My ritual gave you power beyond your wildest dreams. The Lich cocks his head to the side as if he's listening to something. The promise I made is fulfilled at last. I'm no longer obligated to serve the crusade. He looks at you, and there's an evil gleam in his eyes. Am I immortal now? Yes, although there are some limitations to your immortality. However, you no longer have to fear death from old age. You will not grow sick or decrepit. The blades and spells of your enemies will be powerless to end your existence. Even if your body is destroyed, your soul inside the phylactery will bring you back now and allow you to regain your physical form. Evaluate your new state of existence. Everything around you feels different. You sense the subtle energies that flow between the planes. Countless mortal souls whirl around you in an ethereal dance, reaching out to you with their translucent fingers. You can hear their whispers clearly. There is now a void within your chest, cold and tranquil. It is incredible how clear and focused your mind has become now that the vulgar, incessant thumping of your heart has been silenced. Ah, you are holding the vessel that contains my soul. Give it to me. The Lich chuckles with sinister glee. Not so fast, apprentice. Not too long ago, you held my phylactery in your hand and tried to extort me for power, but now I have your phylactery. I have power over you. I didn't extort you. You offered to share your power with me. Maybe you did, and maybe you didn't, but in the end, you took advantage of me to gain power, and what have I gained in return? Nothing, except for my freedom, which is mine by right anyways, so why shouldn't I take back my generous gift? Oh, interesting. He wants to betray me now. What exactly is a phylactery? It is the vessel that holds your soul. While a phylactery is intact, you do not have to fear physical destruction because it will always bring you back. But should something happen to this vessel, Zacharias runs a bony finger alongside the side of the crystal, and the unspoken threat is clear. What will happen if you destroy my phylactery? It is unlikely that you'll feel anything, but once you lose your phylactery, you'll become as vulnerable as you were before the ritual. Your soul will return to your dry bones, and if someone hacks your body to pieces and consigns it to the flames, your soul will depart to face Pharasma's judgment, where you'll be punished in full for your sins. Of course, you could always create a new phylactery, if only you knew how. Ha ha ha. So what do you want from me? Grovel, get on your knees and beg for mercy. Who knows, perhaps I will spare you. Have I ever disregarded your advice? We have much in common. I'm sure you understand that it is better to have someone like me as your ally and not your enemy. Don't pretend we are the same. You're just a beggar who got lucky, an ordinary commonplace mortal who managed to snatch an invaluable prize, the immortality which I generously bestowed. You do not think like a true master of death, and you are still the same sword-swinging brute of Crusader that you were when we first met. I'm sure that you can come to an agreement. There's no need for violence. Zacharias laughs mockingly and shakes his head. What can you possibly offer me? My promise has been fulfilled, and all your little soldiers, treasures, and conquests are worthless to me. No, I do not bargain with beggars. I am more powerful than you are now. If you try to harm me, you will know my wrath. Zacharias gestures dismissively. You have grown arrogant, my former student. You wielded this power for mere minutes, while I've held it for decades. I can show you that what my wisdom and experience has taught me. Alright, fine. You'll regret your threats. Let's do it, Zacharias. One last showdown. Zacharias smashes the phylactery and shatters it in the hands. You have chosen your path. From now on, you are mortal once more. You will go down in history as the shortest-lived Lich in the history of Golarion, because I'm going to destroy you. Alright, fine. Now you shall pay for your disappointing student. Now you shall pay for your failure. Okay. Well, there goes my phylactery, I guess. Can I dispel? Target, yeah. I dispelled you. Oh, there you go. I dispelled him. Yes, good. I dispelled Zacharias. Now he's on the ground. Can shoot Zacharias now? Yeah, Zacharias, you're vulnerable now without your fancy enchantments. Pop, pop. Ah, god damn you. There you go. Zacharias, you're dead. Okay. There we go. Nice. Battle's over. Zacharias, you're super dead. Oof. My broken phylactery. Destruction of the phylactery kept his apprentice from attaining immortality. Ooh, that's rough. That's really rough, huh? Hopefully I learn how to build my phylactery again. Zacharias' betrayal in the end. Time to get my mythic path up. Okay, nice. My level 9 mythic path. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep being Mickey Mouse because, you know, I like being Mickey Mouse. Oh, maybe I can get improved abundant casting. Yes, get more spells I can cast. Yeah, I think that's good. Or maybe Magic Devour, actually. Yeah, maybe Magic Devour Lich. That might be good because I feel like spells would be my biggest weakness, right? Whenever an enemy fails to check me, get more spell resistant. Yeah, cool. Cool. Magic Devour. Nice. I get more spells. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's take Plague Storm. I think that's cool. For my undead plays, they can ignore it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Mind Blank Communal. Sure, sounds good to me. Heroic Invocation. +4 morale bonus on attack and damage rolls. I can summon a Raviner Dragon now. Cool. We got Plague Storm, Mind Blank Communal, and Heroic Invocation. Nice. Greater Enduring Spell. Right, Greater Enduring Spell for good old Staunton Vein. I think that's gonna make a lot of sense for him. Cool. Stoglier now for you. Yeah, maybe Last Stand for Stoglier. Good old Last Stand. Nice. Good Delamere. Sure, Distracting Shots for good old Delamere. Nice. Good.
Meditate on your mistakes.
Lan. Yeah, maybe Distracting Shots over Lan as well. I think it's pretty good, right? Cool.
Don't mind me.
Woljif now. Yeah, sure. Let's give Last Stand to Woljif as well, just to make him a little bit less fragile. That's good to me. There we go. Mythic ranks done. Oh. Wait, there's a door here? Oh yeah, there is. Special door here. Oh, I sense that Zacharias wants to hold the soul of the undead wizard. You can feel the faint vibrations of its fear and anger. Zacharias, are you there? A quiet, rasping voice whispers back, yes, I'm here, and I hear you. Do you regret your decision to fight me? It was a mistake. I underestimated you. What a tragedy. Maybe I should break your phylactery. The Lich's voice quivers with fear. No, anything but oblivion. Do not destroy me. I can be of use to you. What will you offer me in exchange for your pathetic life? Zacharias' voice seethes with hatred and humiliation as he whispers, servitude. I may be wounded, but I still hold power. You can use my phylactery as a weapon. I will direct spells at your enemies, and if you like, you can even give it a shape more appropriate for combat. Why are you still in your phylactery? Why hasn't your soul been transferred to a new body? Zachariah's voice quivers with fury. When you defeated me, you deprived me of the ability to get my body back. How did you do it? How? What is this power that you possess? Oh, interesting. Leave your phylactery at once. You can hear the anguish in Zachariah's quiet voice. I cannot. You broke me, maimed me. I've tried, but I cannot. Interesting. Should I just kill Zacharias? Sure, I will tolerate your continued existence for now. The Lich hisses quietly through clenched teeth. Thank you for your kindness. Interesting. Okay. I got Zacharias' wand back. So, oh right, I sold my youth. Damn it. Ah, okay. Well, whatever. Oh wow, I actually look like a skeleton now. It took a while to update, but yeah. You guys, I look like I have a fox skeleton. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a nice little detail. That's cool. Alright, let's talk to the Pillar of Skulls. I've overthrown Zacharias. From now on, you serve me. The magic rushes toward the pillar, finding its way through the empty eye sockets, slithering inside like a swarm of black snakes, enslaving the thoughts confined within the polished skulls. We serve you, Master. We are at your disposal. The ritual is complete. From this day forth, I am a Lich, a Lord of Death. We worship you, we serve you, we fear you. Rule over us for all eternity, our Lord. You have succeeded in your great undertaking, Master. You have given the ancient lands of Sarkoris over to the powers of darkness. Pharasma's patience grows thin. Her revenge is imminent. We know how to provoke her, to make her forces take up arms and head to Golarion. We advise, Master, that you declare these lands a domain of death, marking them with great corruption and the seal of undeath. Curse Sarkoris, so that all who die here shall henceforth rise again as undead. If you do it, we shall begin our preparations for the ritual that will enhance your overwhelming power to spread your magic all the way from the Lake of Mists and Veils to the hold of Belscan. Upon creating a new abode of death on Golarion, you will become an equal to the greatest lords of death in history, and the Lady of Graves will have no choice but accept your challenge. Just say the word and we shall begin the ritual. Okay. Can you sense the souls of those who become grave guards? Oh, yes. This pillar falls silent for a time. Then it cracks his jaw and speaks. We seek, but we do not see. There are no worthy candidates. We shall continue our search. Death's dominions. Interesting. So what now? I can research another ritual and put a death curse on the lands of Sarkoris. Alright, sounds good. Sounds good. Oh wait, it's good old Teldon. Yes. Teldon, the old man that forgot everything. Ghost appears before you, an apparition so blurry they can barely discern the features of its pale face. When it opens its mouth, you can hear the many-voiced chorus of the Pillar of Skulls. Master, we are ready to serve. A situation in Dresden requires your attention. In your absence, Queen Galfrey inflicted a great deal of damage on your forces. Her guards arrested your servants, opened caches, and killed the undead. These attacks were directed by the priests of Pharasma, who sought to sabotage your ascension. You are no longer under Galfrey's protection, and therefore they are vulnerable. Your undead minions are ready to put an end to the activities of Pharasma's cult in your domain. Your undead minions are prepared to fall on the devotees of Pharasma and tear them limb from limb. Your agents are ready to hand you control of the church through bribes and blackmail. Your warriors are waiting for the command to seize Pharasma's temples and property and expel her priests and believers from Dresden. Give us the order. We serve you. Pillar of Skulls, what new trick is this? The apparition's features become more distinct, and you realize it's Teldon, the old keeper of the Tower of Restrad. Yeah, hey, good old Teldon. When our maker Zacharias left, it set us free. We began to know ourselves. We discovered new abilities and possibilities within ourselves. Your special powers inspired us to seek perfection. You sought new ways to be of use to you. We became better at analyzing information, making projections, and establishing our presence beyond the walls of the Ziggurat, all to serve you more effectively. Why is it necessary to destroy Pharasma's followers? Pharasma does not tolerate the undead, viewing them as a violation of the established order of life and death. Her worshippers are rebels and saboteurs who believe you the champions of forces hostile to their mistress. What exactly can we do about the Church of Pharasma? The bloodshed would be effective. You could hand over the Lady of Graves' followers to the undead to consume their powers along with their flesh. Infiltration is another acceptable option. Suborn the most zealous and influential Pharasmites, turn them into your puppets, and dictate your will to the congregation unless there's priests through them. Yet another option is exile. The forcible banishment of Pharasma servants from Dresden will eliminate the problem, while the property would replenish the Ziggurat's coffers. Oh, that's cool. Won't the believers of Pharasma rebel against me? The ghost is silent for a time. It is quite likely. Many of the living worship Pharasma. She favors those who welcome new life to Golarion, and the ones who attend to the deceased. But your troops are powerful enough to put down this rebellion. Oof, okay. I can do this. I can devour their souls. 33% to make an additional action. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Let us suborn the most influential and zealous Pharasma, turn them into our servants. Let their church follow our will. Animate dead ritual. Summons a random undead unit. It's a target army. Okay, interesting. We will expel the Pharasmites and sack their temples. Pharasman's relics. Book of Resistance +5 enhances the Lich's Dark Rites ability, granting them +2 bonus to DC, +2 profane bonus to AC. Okay. Okay, that's not really that great. Alright, I will strengthen my undead with the souls torn from the feast of Pharasma. Yes, yes, yes. Devoured souls. 33% to make an additional action. Let's do it. Kill them. Your command is log, Master. We now depart to do our duty. The apparition begins to fade, vanishing from sight. We will return when the time comes for new orders. Yes. Yes. Good, good, good. Hey, Nivea, how do you like my new, my new looks? Okay, doesn't say anything. Cool. Alright, now we're gonna go to the Trap for the Other, which is the Daeran quest line, or his side quest. But we also reached level 19, so let's do that right now. Level up, level 19. Ah, so close to the final threshold, right? You know what, let's get Toughness, make myself a little bit beefier. I think that's good. You know what, let's get Iron Will for will saving throws. I feel like there's a lot of will saving throws. Good, good, good. Cool, cool, cool. Good. Now let's go to Staunton Vein, level 19 War Priest now. Yeah, so let's take Blinding Critical. Yeah, sounds good to me. Blinding Critical. Nice, get more Sacred Armors. Cool, cool, cool. Now let's go to Castaglier, my new fighter. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's just take Blind Fight then, just in case I fight people that are invisible to me. Sure, why not? It's good to me. Alright, Slayer, Delamere. I guess I'll get Outflank then. Outflank for Delamere. Didn't have it. I didn't know I didn't have it actually. Get more. Let's get another Freebooter. Yeah, sure. Let's take Greater Snapshot. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Freebooter's Bond is quite nice actually, I think. Oh, here's Hawkblade. Liotr Hawkblade. Liotr plays his role perfectly. He stands before the improvised place of execution, formidable and emotionless, like the living embodiment of inescapable retribution. Commander, I am glad to see you held up your end of the deal. The Mendev Inquisition thanks you. We will take custody of the criminal now. It's hard to read anything on Daeran's face. My, what a curious installation. Count Arendelle, the Mendev Inquisition finds you guilty of treason, criminal links to demonic cults, orchestrating the murders of several of this country's citizens who were killed and decapitated by you or your accomplices in Kenebres and a range of other places. I, Liotr Hawkblade, Inquisitor and Exterminator of the demonic blight by the grace of the Inheritor, have been authorized to carry out the sentence, death by fire. With the permission of the Commander, we will begin. Daeran darts a glance at you, seemingly lost for words. Ooh. I can intimidate him, or I can bluff him. Intimidate, yeah. Did you really think I would agree to tolerate you forever, miserable excuse for a man that you are? I'll enjoy watching you roast at the stake. Don't disappoint me now. Scream as loudly as you can. The Inquisitor, who seems to be listening to something only he can sense, gives you a subtle nod. It appears everything is going according to plan. The rest of your companions exchange bewildered glances, but keep watching without a word. I mean, they're all undead, yeah. Something unusual is about to happen. Daeran seems shaken by your word. He looks away for a moment, then asks with feigned glee, burning at the stake? A trifle old-fashioned. I thought you'd offer something a little more sophisticated for your noble clientele. But what interests me most is what your role is in all of this, Mickey Mouse. You are an arrogant, pompous brat who thinks too highly of himself. I've been watching you and dreaming of making you die a lonely, humiliating death. Ooh, oh damn. Alright. The Liot's face expresses undisguised approval. He shifts his stance, readying himself to fight. The anger flares up in Daeran's eye, but he immediately hides it behind a mask of indifference. Such a highly, highly commendable act by a truly, truly decent person. Wouldn't you agree, Commander? Liotr stands motionless like a statue, stares at you expectantly as if asking for your permission to continue. You've mocked and hurt others your entire life. Now it's your turn. Take your place at the stake and endure the agonizing death you deserve. Liotr gives you a barely perceptible nod. A circle of runes starts to glow faintly at his feet. I see no point in going along with this drama any longer. Daeran's voice drips with venom, the most contemptuous smile imaginable flashing on his lips. I have no desire to entertain you and your friend, Commander. Feel free to do what you have planned. I hope that your attempt to rid the world of Daeran Arendelle will not lead to any unforeseen incidents. Alright, here it comes. Liotr Hawkblade, with the bank placed, the Inquisitor raises a torch. Let justice be served. There is a palpable shift in the surroundings. Everything seems to tremble, like in the moment before a thunderstorm. There are no bolts of lightning or rolls of thunder, but the sensation of some malicious presence, enraged and bewildered, rings through the air. We did it, Commander. It's coming, right into our trap. A scream of a dozen voices, soundless but powerful, drills into your ears and resounds over the land. This ritual circle drawn by the Inquisitor flares to life. Here it comes. Defeat the other. A sudden silence falls over the battlefield. It is accompanied by the sensation of sinking into deep water. Slowly, inevitably, the surface grows further and farther away. The darkness grows deeper and deeper around you, and below is nothing but a bottomless black. Voices of sound inside your head? No, not voices. Images. Ideas. Deal. The blackness seems to extend its hand. A vague extremity, an open palm. Deal. Let go. Let go of us. An agonizing yearning for freedom grows through you, piercing your entire self. It comes from without, but you feel as if it's your own. Reward. You get reward. Power. Away. We will go away. The old door is closing. We will step back. A picture of Daeran's severed head dripping with blood appears before our eyes, looking eerily real. What are you? A stream of feelings and images crashes upon your mind. This cannot be described as in any language. You know, you can only sense the general shape of them, the direction, the aftertaste, space, void, death, infinity, journey, escape, hunger, over and over, hunger. So what do you want? Secret, keep the secret. Door, close the door. A separate desire to break free from the trap and escape lances through your mind and heart. I refuse, you will die, creature. The feeling of sinking into the depths is replaced by a sensation of whirlpool rolling around you. Death, freedom, freedom, death. Alright, let's do... Oh, it heals a lot. Hit him, hit him, hit him. Nice. There we go. There's the dead. Gotcha. Decide Daeran's fate. Okay. Cool. Daeran wraps his arms around himself for a moment, clutching at his shoulders with a slightly crazed look in his eyes. He surveys the area, his gaze nearly never resting on anything in particular. His lips move, but no sound comes out. At last, the Count says, "It's over." I hope it is. The commander and I spared no effort to home in on this entity and then to lure it into a trap. I assume now you understand the real reason behind everything we put you through, Count. I'm especially proud of my overly ruthless Inquisitor speech. I like you, sir, not so ruthless Inquisitor. 'Tis a real shame that I shall have to kill you. Daeran, what are you talking about? Well, Daeran is speaking in a strange manner, apparently marveling at the sound of his own voice, tasting each word on his tongue. Either that, or the Inquisition will grip me by the throat and finally execute me, unless they decide to lock me up in some closed facility for clerics and mages that would look suspiciously like a prison. Liotr remains calm despite the heavy toll of combat and the threat to life. Count, you are without a doubt guilty of being in contact with a vile entity from beyond and of concealing signs of its presence in Mendev and the Crusade. That makes you an accomplice to all the crimes committed by this other, whatever it is. Of course, Mendevian justice in all its glory. It is my duty to pass your case to the Inquisition Tribunal, but I am certain that the judges will take into consideration your youth and the extreme circumstances under which you first encountered the entity, and they will treat you with leniency. I seriously doubt that the death sentence will even be raised as a possibility, but... Liotr pauses. Count, can you still use your abilities as an oracle? What does that have to do with? You can. I am positive of it. I know how abilities like yours work. Unlike clerics, you do not gain your power by choice. You do not choose your destiny. You are simply chosen. The other, whatever it was, chose you. You became his gateway and thus acquired your power. Now it is dead, but this power still remains with you. This means that the gateway wasn't sealed with the death of its creator. Hence, you, Count, are an open road into the unknown, where these horrible head-collecting entities come from. You remain a threat, and this means that there is a high possibility or high probability that the tribunal will decide to send you to closed asylum, where you will remain under the church's supervision for the rest of your life. Daeran, do you have anything to say about the gateway and all the things that Liotr is talking about? Daeran licks his lips nervously. Of all those assembled here, I may know the least about these creatures and what they were trying to do to me. I was simply instructed to keep my mouth shut, otherwise the next severed head would be my own, so I said nothing. I have been saying nothing for 10 long years, while they have been using me to come and go from the world as they pleased. Oh, I don't know how this all works. I don't know if there is still some road inside me or where it may lead. There must be another way to resolve this. Another way? I'm afraid there is no such way, Commander. Don't ask me to sacrifice my principles. I will never do that. The only thing I can say is that it's the tribunal's verdict, no matter what it will probably be not be carried out as long as active hostilities continue in the Crusade. But after they are over, we will have to step in. Actually, there is another way. You can just kill me here and right now. Daeran chuckles, then waves his hand and rubs his eyes tiredly. I'm not joking, and I'm not being overdramatic. I'm not going to that damn tribunal, and I'm not going to any damned asylum. This life, so-called life, they have prepared for me is everything I've ever hated with a little extra on top. I will not be able to live like that. I never even want to try. I would much prefer to take one final breath as a free man than to live decades more with a noose around my neck. Lan frowns. For someone like him, death really would be better than what awaits him after the tribunal. Do I get a say in this? I mean no disrespect, Commander, but I sincerely doubt that the Iomedean Inquisition Mendevian Tribunal will consider favorably any arguments presented by a Lord of Death. Ah, damn it, okay. I'll hand Daeran over to the Inquisition Tribunal. Fine, the Tribunal it is. And you expect me to be a good little boy and come quietly, do you? I don't know. That's... Oh. He just kills him. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, Hawkblade is dead. So what are you doing? Daeran looks around you with a hint of regret. Well, as the saying goes, I just have taken my destiny into my own hands, and I must admit, it feels absolutely fantastic. After all those years living under the tyranny of foul creatures that used me as a door to their attic or whatever hovel they live in, I finally made an independent decision on my own. This was the last stunt I will tolerate from you. The next time will end badly for you. Fine, but I can't promise anything. If I've ever dreamed of anything, it was being of my own master. I shall keep following you for now, but I haven't the faintest intention of seeking out a new keeper. Alright. That's interesting.
It's an odd word. Freedom.
Oh, okay. Why did you mention freedom?
Because it is the only thing that really matters. The only thing.
Uh-huh. I have so many questions for you about the other and more.
Let's postpone this conversation until we are back at camp or somewhere else safe. Apologies, but I'm too exhausted now to talk about it. First, I need to convince myself that it's all over.
Alright, we have to go.
You know, I must thank you for ridding me of those creatures. Bad enough that I had to rid myself of another, a creature of Iomedae in that case. You help me and tolerate me, and that is more care than anyone else has ever shown me. I'm not sure that you give a damn about my gratitude, but I am grateful nevertheless.
Oh, he's grateful. That's good to hear. Oh, he's back in my tardy. Okay. That's funny. Well, Hawkblade, I'm sorry to say, but you're super dead. Except that your character is still standing up there. That's kind of funny. You know what? I think that's going to do it for this episode, actually. Like, it's been a pretty crazy episode. We did a lot. We became a Lich. We finally transformed. We're like this skeleton dude now. It's pretty cool. And yeah, we killed Zacharias. We overthrew him. We're level 19. We're gonna go to Iz very soon, guys. I'm very excited to see how all this closes out, how the ending of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous ends out. So yeah, hope you guys are there. Hope you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. And of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time. But until then, goodbye for now.